came on Friday to remind ourselves to be conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In this khutbah, I'm going to talk about Surah Al-Tahrim, verse number 5. Inshallah, the next khutbah we'll talk about verse number 6. I give you background about Surah Al-Tahrim. The first few ayahs is about an incident that took place, and two of the wives of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam may have some jealousy toward another wife, and they plotted something so that discouraged Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam to see the other wife. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informed the Prophet about this plot. The Prophet proposed their wives, and then Allah scolded them, scolded those two, and asked them to repent. But these are not the emphasis of this book. Then we go to verse number 5. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, عَسَى رَبُّهُ إِنْ طَلَّقَكُنَّ أَنْ يُبْدِلَهُ أَزْوَاجًا خَيْرًا مِنْكُنَّ مُسْلِمَاتٍ مُؤْمِنَاتٍ قَانِتَاتٍ تَائِبَاتٍ عَابِدَاتٍ سَائِحَاتٍ طَيِّبَاتٍ وَأَبْكَارٍ. يا أيها الذين آمنوا قوا أنفسكم وأهليكم نارا وقودها الناس والحجارة عليها ملائكة غلاظ شداد لا يعصون الله ما أمرهم ويفعلون ما يؤمرون يا أيها الذين كفروا لا تعتذروا اليوم إنما تجزون ما كنتم تعملون. Verse number 5, which is our emphasis, says, after that background that I gave you, Allah tells those wives, says, it may be, if he divorced you all, that Allah will give him, that is our Rasul, Allah will give him, in exchange, spouses better than you, who submit their wills, who believe, who are devout, who turn to Allah in repentance, who worship in humility, who travel for faith and fast, previously married or virgin. Now this translation is not quite accurate, so we want to deal with this ayah one word by word, and there are a lot of things in it. First off, Allah illustrates 7 characteristics that the wives of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam have to have. Obviously, these 7 characteristics transfer to wives of Ummah, the Mu'mineen. Then obviously, these are not the characteristics that are specific for women, except the last one. So that should translate to men as well, when they want to choose spouses. Not only that, those who are already married, there are points in this that tells us what we have to strive for. First, Allah says, it may be that he divorces you all. Who divorces? In that means Allah will divorce you. What is the point of this? Rasul is divorcing you, Allah is divorcing you. Allah says Allah will divorce you. We go to Surah 33, Surah Al-Ahzab, ayah 37. فَلَمَّا قَضَى زَيْدٌ مِنْهَا وَتَرًا زَوَّجْنَاكَهَا. Allah says, Allah, in another verse, another surah, Allah says, Allah will marry you. So the point is, the marriage and divorce of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam of his wives is not his choice. It's not by him. Allah will decide for him. This is an answer to those who say, why Rasul is marrying so many wives and divorcing this or that. Allah will tell us specifically that his marriage and his divorce will be handed on Allah. 2. Then Allah starts giving those characteristics. أَنْ يُبْدِلَهُ أَزْوَاجًا, in exchange for azwaj, spouses better than you, who are 1. the Sharia of Islam, no man or wife, no man or woman can marry a non-Muslim. Nikah, permanent marriage. We all know the Muslims say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. If one says that, that person becomes a Muslim. But Allah says this is the first condition. What's the next? Have to go higher. Mu'minat. Now that you said it, you have to believe with all your heart what you said. Now you have to submit to what you said. Now you have to obey what Allah say to you to follow. One step higher. Qanitat. Qanitat comes from the root word. Qunut. You know, qunut. When somebody says qunut, you think about when you're raising your hand to salah. That's one qunut. But qunut in real word is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks to Maryam. Salamun alayha says in surah number 3, verse number 43. Ya Maryam qunuti li rabbik. Oh Maryam. This is not to say, oh Maryam, raise your hand. Make khushu. Be humble for your Lord. So qunut actually is luzum ta'ah ma'al khushu. What does it mean? Have a humility with obedience, which has an indication of consistency. Give an example. Some of you hear a good lecture, and then everybody's excited, everybody thinks about Allah, the spirit becomes high, becomes spiritual, and we want to do good things, good deeds. The next day, the spirit comes down. And God forbid, some may even think about doing sins. The next day, again, you see a program, the spirit goes high, and you want to do good things, good deeds. This is not somebody who's in a state of qunut. In other words, Muslim, yes. Mu'min, yes. But the consistency is not there. Go up and down, up and down. So it's Allah's blessing if someone finds himself or herself in a state that constantly wants to do good. And Allah mentions that in one of the characteristics about it being a mu'min. Now, so far, somebody asked a question, said, well, if you want to look for somebody like this, it's really hard. And you want to go back to the background of some people, it's impossible sometimes to find somebody who's like this. But immediately Allah says, Ta'ibat, those who make tawbah, those who want to start over. Tawbah is return, correct? When you say, I make a tawbah, I make a repentance, I want to return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In fact, the tawbah itself has few stages, but we don't want to go to that. It's not only returning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you want to start new, rather it reflects the personality of the person toward the spouse. The person is able to repent, is able to change. Give an example. If somebody says, I am what I am, and I'm not going to change. This is how I am. You accept me like this. This is not a person that is caught above. Is part of fire. This is not a person. If persons like this, obviously that person will not return to Allah either. So the personality of the character of someone who is ta'ib is such that it's ready to change. If he or she finds a mistake, not only toward Allah, toward anybody else, he or she ready to correct. He or she ready to start anew. Forgive me. I apologize. From now on, I will not do it. So that's one character. The other was an abidat. Abid is somebody who is servant of something. Let's make it, this is plural abd. Abd, without any going around, beating around the bush. Anything that is glorified in our heart is our abd. We are abd of that thing. It may be that someone think about eating. I always think about what I do, what I eat for breakfast, what I eat for lunch. I always think about food. Oh, this food is bad, this food is talking to his spouse about why this food is this way, that way. This is abdul batin, the slave of stomach. You may have a person going abdul shahawat, the slave of the lust, constantly thinking about satisfying himself or herself spiritually, sexually. You may have a person who's abdul dirham dinar, somebody who's always thinking about money. How much money I have, how much money I can make. I don't care about anything else, it's money. This is the slave of money. I know we have abdul dunya, which is everything else, and all the material world. Now Allah says, when it says Abidah is the one who is Abdullah, the servant of Allah. Such a person, with a man or woman married, the Abdullah will not take his or her spouse to a direction that leads to the disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The next one is Sa'ihat. Sa'ihat, some of the scholars say Sa'ihat is somebody who is who wants to follow the Sharia. Wants to Sharia. And for example, they stated that somebody who is Sa'im, somebody who is fasting, somebody who is an example of Sa'ihat. But there are some scholars that actually have it better, and I like that better when I hear that. They say Sa'ihat comes from the word Siyah, which is moving in the land. In other words, when I say Allah says Sa'ihat, he means the person who is ready to move, who is ready to change, who is ready to evolve. When you look at the woman or man, from when she or he was 20 years old, when he or she becomes 50 years old, you clearly see a change. You clearly see an evolution in character and morality. Dynamic person. Dynamic in character. Wants to change. Allah, this is Sa'ihat, and I personally like this interpretation much better. Then we have Thayyibat. Thayyibat comes from the word Tawbah, which means Ruju' ila al-halat al-ula, returning to the original state, first state. Why? And then this refers to women who are widows. Why Allah used that word? Because they started from the house of their fathers, they got married, they left, now they return to the state where they were. They return to their father's houses. So that's, in other words, Allah says, now that I said 5 of those characteristics, whether that person is a widow or what abikara. So far, even a widow is a man. But we have already said that the alif and ta that comes up after all this means women, but it also means, one can really say that there's nothing in those that indicates women or women. Obviously, men are included. But then we have abkara, those who are virgins. This is the only one Allah says either widow or virgin. Okay? Now, let's think about this. I know in my culture, at least, men are usually looking for first one say, oh, let's see if she's a virgin. The same way with men too, sometimes let's see if he's been something else. But Allah says, even the widows comes first. The virgin comes last. 5, 6 out of these 7 characteristics were not physical. There's no mention of beauty. There's no mention of how high they are, how thin they are, how fat they are, how this they are. It's only spiritual. Only the last one is physical. 1 out of 7 is the characteristics that Allah says physical. So we also have to think about, inshallah, those of us who have not married, who want to get married, have these characteristics to marry. Those who are already married, Allah says these are the characteristics that you have to strive for. Are we on it? Are Sa'ir. Do we have the personality to change? Not only toward Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, toward other people. Do we have a personality to say, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, I will not repeat? Do we have a personality to say, oh Allah, we only worship you, I only worship you? Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us so our children become pure and righteous. Oh Allah, bless our children to become acquainted with what you want to be. Oh Allah, make our hearts ever acquainted with subtlety of your works. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين صلى الله على محمد عبده ورسوله ثم الصلاة والسلام على علي وفاطمة والحسن والحسين وتسعة المعصومين من ذرية الحسين عليه السلام. وقال الحكيم في كتاب المجيد يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us to be truthful and have conscience of Him in all our affairs. In this khutbah, we continue to the next verse, which is basically the first khutbah that I said was really a minor part of this whole khutbah, the whole salah, together. This is really what the emphasis is. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Oh, you who believe. Qu anfusakum wa ahlikum naran waquduha an-nas wal hijara 'alayha malaikatun ghiladun shidadun la ya'suna Allah ma amarahum wa yaf'aluna ma yu'marun. Oh, you believe, save yourselves and your families. A fire whose fuel is man and stone, over which are appointed angels, stern and severe, who flinch not from executing the commands they receive from Allah, but do precisely what they are commanded. Now we're going to go into more detail of this ayah. First, say, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Allah is talking to us. Every time Imam Rida alayhi salam would read these ayah, say labbaik Allahumma labbaik. Allah tells us, now that you see, now what's the connection here? Allah says, okay, you saw, even in the Prophet's family, there's a problem. Now Allah reminds us, says, you now, you who believe, save yourself. Now what is the word who? Who comes from the word waqaya? Take a shield. You know, taqwa, waqaya, it's all from waqaya. Who? Take a shield. When do you take the shield? You have a sword and a shield. When do you take the shield? When there's raining? When there are arrows coming in? When there is danger? Allah said there is a danger. They are taking your families. They're taking your children. Take the shield. But Allah says, take the shield. There are danger coming in around you. Beware. The first says, anfusakum. Didn't he say your family first? He said, you anfusakum. You first. Your own selves. Take the shield. Bring yourself up. And then your family. There are all over us. Isn't that Shaitan said in Surah 7, verse 17? ثُمَّ لَآتِيَنَّهُمْ مِنْ بَيْنِ أَيْدِيهِمْ وَمِنْ خَلْفِهِمْ وَعَنْ أَيْمَانِهِمْ وَعَنْ شَمَائِلِهِمْ وَلَا تَجِدُ أَكْثَرَهُمْ شَاكِرِينَ. Shaitan says to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I will come from front of them, from back surrounded by shaitan all over. But this shaitan needs a basira eyes. Basira. You have to watch it. Every time, every era, these shaitans come different directions, different ways. As Allah left it to us to find out what those are. Alright, Allah says, take a shield. Learn your own stuff. Brothers and sisters, I have had Sunday school. A 18-year-old boy walks in and wants to buy. Are you Muslim? Yes, I am. Okay, I talked to him about this. What do you know about Islam? Not much. Do you know what ghusl is? No. So ever since that person had become mature, father, has been walking around without doing a ghusl. Okay, this is shame. I have had other people, younger teenagers, who became baligh, and alhamdulillah I got to them alright, and Allah wanted to be Christian. So, why are we leaving our kids to the society to raise them? Why? Is it not Allah says, "Qu anfusakum"? This is, all the scholars say that, this ayah puts the most responsibility on us. Anfusakum, you who have kids. First, you have to bring yourself up, learn your stuff, teach your kids, and watch what they do. وَأَهْلِيكُمْ, and your families. نَارًا وَقُودَهَا النَّاسُ, from the fire. Now, let's back up a little bit, talk about shaitan. And we said, in every era, this shaitan is different. Imam Ali alayhi salam says, الناس بزمانهم أشبه بالآباء. The people are closer to their times than their fathers. In other words, if you're a father or mother, for that matter, doesn't matter, you have to know what things your kids need. Provide those things. You have to know their time. For example, I can tell my kid, now I mean an example, I hope I have enough time. I don't catch what I need, what I exactly need. I can tell my kids, in my time there was no calculator. So you are not allowed to have calculators. Okay? Obviously this is wrong, right? But on the other hand, can I also tell my 7-year-old who has to be able to add and subtract and learn some stuff in his mind, say, this is a calculator, from now on you don't have to think. Just punching the numbers, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, whatever you want to do. You see what I'm talking about? Now what I see, what's happening in our community, some people left their kids, say, okay, these time, people have to have computers. Everybody has to have internet. Park their kids in front of the internet. Park their cars in front of computers and computer games. And what I see, unfortunately, they buy for their kids. And I have been told by some parents, the kid sits down in front of the computer for 8, 10, 12 hours. And they just have to feed them food. And unfortunately, this is happening. So, let's understand what Allah tells us. Yes, it is true that our kids have to have things that we didn't have. But there is a condition. You have to realize what the limit is. Internet is good, but it's also bad. I see a lot of kids coming to masjid at Sunday school. I'm sorry I take your time, but this has to be said. And we said, brother and I said, you cannot use your cell phone on Sundays. What I say is, there's addiction. I don't know how many of you know this. Even though they're not playing on the computer games, the internet, by their cell phones, they're texting. It's addiction. Something has to bring it up. Some of the adults are addicted. And then we have some other kids that are left to the public school to raise them. I have had, this is true story, I have had people coming here to me as an teenager to say, Brother Mohsen, you have to tell me how there's a pressure in public school on homosexuality, gay rights, and this and that. I said, stay away from it. Stay away from it. Now, we talked about Surah Al-Kafirun, some of you remember. And at the end of Surah Al-Kafirun, you know the story. But at the end of it said, Lakum dinukum waliya din. Your way to you, my way to me. I said, brother, don't get involved in a discussion with them, because they already made up their mind. They want to pull you in. Just say, your way for you, my way for me. So give a way to your children. If you don't know how to instruct them to cope with these issues at school or environment, bring it to Brother Alhamdulillah. Bring it to brothers or sisters who are more knowledgeable than this. Don't leave them in darkness. Don't leave them in such a state. They make a wrong choice. And when you get to them, it's too late. They are addicted, they are alcoholic, they are, God forbid, in different directions of sexuality, they are addicted to computer games, and it's too late. Allah says, this is the nar. وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَ. You know, when you want to make a fire, what do you need? Old days, they put two rocks, right? Special rocks, they would hit each other, they would make a spark, right? But then, for fire, you need little things. Before you make a big fire, you have to make some dry, piece of wood. These are waqud. Hijara is the rock. But Allah says this waqud is the people themselves. In other words, the fire, we are fire ourselves when we do bad things. We become the fire. وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَ عَلَيْهَا مَلَائِكَةٌ غِلَاظٌ. And they are angels that stern and severe, who flinch not from executing the will of Allah. And the next ayah says, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا لَا تَعْتَذِرُوا الْيَوْمَ إِنَّمَا تُجْزَوْنَ مَا كُنتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. Oh, you unbelievers, make no excuse to stay. You are being but requited for all that you did. In other words, say, this is what you did. Your own deeds is your fire. Allah did not create a fire for you. Your own deeds is your fire. You yourself become fire. So brothers and sisters, there had to be some reminders about this, and I hope you got the message. According to scholars, this verse that we just read puts the biggest responsibility on us, shoulder our parents, to watch. What do we ask our kids when we go to school? Do we watch it? Do they really go to school? Or do we go somewhere else? So there are a lot of things coming from their ways. And this is our responsibility to watch. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to show us the right path to stay with it, the wrong path to stay away from it. ربنا هب لنا من ازواجنا وذرياتنا قرة اعين واجعلنا للمتقين اماما. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات الاحياء منهم والاموات وتعاون بيننا وبينهم بالخيرات انك مجيب الدعوات انك على كل شيء قدير. اللهم انصر الاسلام والمسلمين. Oh Allah, give victory to Islam and all Muslims. وانصر من نصر الدين. Oh Allah, give victory to help those who help the religion. Allahumma wansur ummatina fi kulli. Oh Allah, help our ummah in all places on earth. Allahumma khul man khadalat deen. Oh Allah, humiliate those who want to humiliate your religion. Waqdul man khadal al-Muslimin. Oh Allah, humiliate those who want to humiliate Muslims. Waqdul munafiqeen wal-mustakbirin wal-mushrikeen. Bismillah. لم
find Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ya Allah, connect us to your total command and disconnect us from everything else. Sallu salat mubarak. Allahu Akbar. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يسبح لله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض الملك القدوس العزيز الحكيم. هو الذي بعث في الأميين رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياته ويزكيهم ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة وإن كانوا من قبل لفي ضلال مبين وآخرين منهم لما يلحقوا بهم وهو العزيز الحكيم. ذلك فضل الله يؤتيه من يشاء والله ذو الفضل العظيم. مثل الذين حملوا التوراة ثم لم يحملوها كمثل الحمار يحمل أسفارا بئس مثل القوم الذين كذبوا بآيات الله والله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين. قل يا أيها الذين هادوا إن زعمتم أنكم أولياء لله من دون الناس فتمنوا الموت إن كنتم صادقين ولا يتمنونه أبدا بما قدمت أيديهم والله عليم بالظالمين. قل إن الموت الذي تفرون منه فإنه ملاقيكم ثم تردون إلى عالم الغيب والشهادة فينبئكم بما كنتم تعملون. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. فإذا قضيت الصلاة فانتشروا في الأرض فابتغوا من فضل الله واذكروا الله كثيرا لعلكم تفلحون. وإذا رأوا تجارة أو لهوا انفضوا إليها وتركوك قائما. قل ما عند الله خير من اللهو ومن التجارة والله خير الرازقين. ربنا افرغ علينا صبرا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده
ربنا لك الحمد.
الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألهاكم التكاثر حتى زرتم المقابر كلا سوف تعلمون ثم كلا سوف تعلمون كلا لو تعلمون علم اليقين لترون الجحيم ثم لترونها عين اليقين ثم لتسألن يومئذ عن النعيم. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده.
ربنا لك الحمد.
ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين واقتل الكفار والمنافقين والمستكبرين والمشركين. وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.